And welcome back, or rather, welcome to the Friday afternoon Roncast, the number one podcast in the world, and the only podcast in the world hosted by the sexiest, top-rated biotuber, yours truly. So, normally I'll just kick into the episode, go through segment to segment. I have my other screen open here where I'm reading off of my notes page. So, our first segment will be a mock fact, so a fun fact about one of my mocks. We'll have a life update, a question of the day, and then I'll pick one real-life topic to discuss, and then a Bionicle topic to discuss. So it's supposed to be more of a behind-the-scenes view of me, I guess. And because I don't have really consistent content to put out. So this will kind of just be what I do in between, and maybe, it'll help me connect with my viewers more, and I can, find out ideas that I can use to upload on the YouTubes. Hey, what are you going to do? So, segment number 1, mock fact. I'm looking up on my shelf right now. Azaran. Okay. So this probably, some of these things will overlap with the actual topics, but that's okay. So Azaran, his origin, the mock, because that's also something I want to talk about in this podcast. I'll talk about, End of Horizon stuff, story-wise, and actual, real-life production of it. And then mocks, their character, but also the creation of them. And one of the topics is Rondax's origin. Maybe I'll talk about that today. I don't know. I'll have to look through my list that I wrote. Anyway, so back in the day, my quote-unquote, screen time, I was only allowed on the computer, the family computer that we had in the basement. I was allowed 45 minutes on Lego.com, and that was it. I was this sort of stopped when I started playing Xbox, which might have been in I don't even know what grade that would have been in. Definitely maybe third or fourth grade, I started actually gaming. But most of my childhood was just kind of movies, and then the occasional Lego Star Wars adventure on the Wii. Or maybe a Kinect game as well, because I had the Kinect that went to the Xbox. But yeah, I started doing stuff on my own with Skylanders and some of the Lego games more in later in my life. So yeah, I would browse Lego.com back when it was actually cool, because now it's all weird and kind of sellout-y, if I'm being real. It's kind of goofy looking. It was a lot cooler back in the day. You would log on, and you would go to the product section, and you would just have a list of every single Lego theme out at the moment. And you could go into each mini website and look through photos, mini web series stuff, sets, character bios, mini games, everything. So I would always go to the Bionicle one, and I think I was actually able to be around for when that Mata Nui miniseries that I'll get to my point in a second. This is such an unprofessional first episode, but it was the original 2009 Bionicle website, not the G2 one. And I remember watching the Mata Nui miniseries where it was he's talking about getting in the big robot and then fighting Makuta and whatever. That was really cool. But anyway, so this was more in G2, I believe. I would browse the gallery section where people could upload their mocks. At the time, actually, I didn't start mock building until late 2016, because I was always no, I don't want to take apart my sets. No, they're so special to me. And I'll get into how I started mock building in a different episode. But so I was browsing, and I found, and I still to this day do not know where it came from. I think I found it at one point, and then I never found it again. But it was a white Rockshi, primary color white, secondary color red, and it looked dope as hell. And I've always really liked that color blocking color scheme kind of thing, where it's primary color white, secondary color red. Sort of similar to, well, almost with more of like a, not opaque, but like an expressionless, flat kind of face. Sort of like Slender Man, but a little more like, because Azran doesn't have like a suit and tie on, so it's more of like animalistic and like, if you guys have seen Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, that one movie, the hollows in it, they kind of look like that. Or it's like almost no eyes, just a mouth. I don't know, look up creepypasta on Google and you'll find something, who knows. But yeah, so then I was like, oh my god, I gotta build something like that. And I remember building Azran shortly after. And, I don't know, little fun fact, I guess. That's all the mock fact segment's gonna be. But yeah, just little randos, little facts. But the big meat, juicy parts of the podcast will be later on. And that's when we'll get into actual details and whatnot. So, life update. What's been going on with dear old little old me? Well, your girl's on February break. So that's fun. I've just been filming. And actually the other night, I was filming some stuff because what I like to do when I'm filming is... let me just take a second here. The point of the podcast is for me to ramble and have an actual discussion and talk about things that are cool and interesting. The topics are more guidelines in case my life is just not that interesting this week or any week that I record this. So just letting you know. Also, it's going to be very unprofessional. It's kind of the point. It's supposed to just be me kind of going off on a tangent and having a fun time. Because every other video I make is super professional, and nobody likes professional stuff. That's weird, okay? We're going to have fun with this, all right? Sit back, plug in your headbuds, and frickin' do some chores, all right? Take your dog for a walk, all right? Take out the compost, file your taxes, graduate from college, all right? And just listen. Just listen to my sweet, succulent, juicy voice. And that is quite enough for me, all right? That's all I need from you. That's all I need, okay? Not something you watch. The image up on screen is just to show that I am talking into a microphone to my audience, all right? Something you listen to. If you don't watch it, you're dead to me. Anyway. Or I should rephrase that. If you watch it and you don't listen to it, you're dead to me. Moving on. Life update. Filming. Yeah, I gotta get back. Come on, Rondax, get back on track here. All right, buddy. Come on. I know it's 4:32 in the afternoon. Just get on with it. Okay, great. Filming. The other night, I think I started at like 6:30, and I took a break at like 8:30 to take a shower or something. And then I got back on. I don't remember what time I got back to filming, but then I finished at like 10:30, and what I like to do with filming is I like to find, like, a certain, like, if I'm using a set, for example, which is what I did the other night, where I had, like, a whole setup on my floor that I wanted to film, so I could get every scene done in that area, so then everything would be done, and I wouldn't have to go, like, back and forth, you know? So if I have this area set up, and I only film one scene, I'm going to have to come back to it, but I might not come back to it for a week or more, depending on when I want to film. So it'd be sitting there and would eventually get moved around and jostled if, for example, it's on my floor. So I need to get everything done right then and there. Also, I'm the kind of person who likes, it takes a while for me to get going on something, but once I do, man, I am determined. All right? Like, nothing else will get in the way of it. But to get to that point, that's the real challenge. But anyway, I did that, and then I believe the day after, I filmed another scene outside. So in total, February break, I have filmed 3 scenes, one of which almost being 2 because it's really long, and it's pretty much the whole like meat, like the main part of the finale of season 3. So that's fun. And then, fun fact, the other scene was the after the intro, because usually I'll have like cold open, intro, actual episode, credits, the end. And so I believe it was the first official scene of episode 1 of season 3, End of Horizon. Yeah. So we're chugging along. Better than I was in season 2, because right now I think 2019 I filmed and produced most of season 1, and then I finished it in 2020, early 2020. I started on season 2 and then just didn't do barely any filming throughout quarantine and lockdown throughout 2020. And then I believe I kind of chipped away at it through the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021. And then I got my heart broken by a woman. And then that was middle of 2021. And I remember I was telling my mom about it because, I tell her everything. Lovely woman. And I was just whatever, I'm just going to move on from it. Working on myself, working out because I got to get them gains. And, working on the series. I'm actually almost done with it. I could, if I wanted to, I could probably finish it tonight. Yeah, I could probably finish. Yeah, I'm going to finish it tonight. I got up, I went downstairs, and I finished it that night. End of story. And then season 2 was up a couple days later. So, yeah, it was fun. Where was I going with this? Life update. There we go. So yeah, as of now, I am way ahead of what I have been, or at least with season 2. I was hoping for a summer release of season 3, but I'm actually changing that. I hope to have season 3 filming done by the summer, and maybe I'll upload it next year. We'll have to see. It's a very big season, 16 episodes, 10 to 15 minutes each. Not only is it lengthy and extensive, it's a very challenging season because I'm not doing stop motion anymore. I have to do fully active motion, or not that I have to. I prefer it at this point. It's less tedious, and I'm just lazy. So I can kind of, I got to readjust to active motion. For those of you who don't know, active motion is like puppetry, like what William Furno does instead of stop motion. So, kind of getting readjusted to that, using a new editing program, because I went from using stop motion and iMovie with my iPad and no tripod to now tripod, phone, new editing program, active motion, better script. So I'm still adjusting and whatnot. So it's definitely gonna take a bit, but I'm a lot more motivated to do it because I've been waiting to make season 3 for a long time. So there's that. What else? I worked yesterday. For those of you who don't know, I work at Dunkin' Donuts. I work Wednesdays 3 to 6, and then Saturdays 12 to 6, so I work tomorrow. No, 1 to 6, it changed. Yeah, I don't know. So that's always nice, and I'm sure I'll talk about Dunkin's at some point on this podcast as well. That's actually in my real life topics list. So that was fun. One thing I will say, and I don't want to talk about, because that's the thing, I don't want to overlap too much, because I do like to leave some for the topics. So, one thing I do like about Dunkin' is I like doing trash duty, or being on trash or whatever, where I get to, just go around to every single trash can, replace the bag, and then bring it out to the big dumpster in the back, throw it in, call it a day. It's really not that gross, to be completely honest. You wear gloves. I'm not afraid to get my work clothes dirty. In fact, that's kind of the point. Because they're disgusting, and that's they need to be, because it's working in, I'm not going to go there in a suit and tie kind of thing. I'm not going to wear those clothes outside of work. So, yeah. I got gloves on, it's fine. But the best part is when I go to take out the trash and it's dark. And it's the evening, and you get that nice night vibe. I got my earbuds in. I'm listening to some music. It's so nice. There's car lights flashing by, and it's really chill. So I enjoy it. Anyway, that's my life update for now. Not really much going on. February break, filming, yada yada yada. Before the podcast, actually, I was cleaning up some parts on my desk. Because usually what I do is I mock build and then I don't clean up after myself because, again, I'm lazy, whatever. Okay, so that was life update. We don't want to make it too long. Just, got to keep things moving. Right, Rondax? Yes, of course. Absolutely. Okay, question of the day. Let's go to Discord. So I have a little section on my Discord server, the Rontatorship. It's called Questions and Theories. And so we're going to scroll up because I'm not doing the Q&A thing anymore. So... Oh, okay. So usually I'll do a Q&A at every, 100 milestone. But I'll have to think of something else for my 400 instead of a Q&A. I don't know. Maybe I'll do another trailer for season 3. I'll think about it. I don't know. All right. So I know I answered some of these in the server, but some people, it's weird. Okay, the fan base is split. When I say fan base, I know I'm only referring to 374 subs last I checked. But hey man, it's still a fan base. It's a community. It's a cult. So it's divided. There's Discord, there's YouTube, and there's Instagram. So people on Instagram aren't subscribed to me, and people on Discord aren't subscribed to me, and some people in Discord don't know that I have an Instagram. Some people that are on Instagram don't know I have a Discord. Some people on YouTube don't know I have a YouTube. So it's divided. So we're just going to answer the most recent questions because these all happened after the 200 sub special. So Alexander the Ordinary asks, when does the official Rondax Studios merch Wave 1 drop? At the time I said probably around Age of Reckoning. That's a canceled project. Age of Reckoning isn't happening anymore. Other stuff is in its place. Okay. Merch drop. I actually, in all seriousness, I would love to do merch at some point. Maybe if I hit 1K someday. That's my goal. And then I can sort of fade into the background and say, I made it. So, yes, merch. If I were to do that, I would want to do pillowcases so I could watch you sleep. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a weirdo, okay? I'd probably do pillowcases, and then I would do t-shirts. Maybe hats. Hats are nice. Yeah, I'd do some beanies. I'd do a line of beanies, and then instead of the Under Armour logo, a little square, instead I would have... I'd have a little Rondax face on there, a cool little graphic drawn by probably somebody else because I can't draw. So, yeah, somebody else would probably throw that on there for me. Yeah, that'd probably be merch. We're going to answer a couple more because why not? Questions are just kind of things. These are actually all old ones, so we can go through these because we've kind of already answered them. So, let me scroll through here. A couple more. Plushies. That's another thing I'd probably do. Shax808. My son. He asked me, can you do mock slideshows, please? I kind of stopped doing those because I feel like they take away from the actual development of the character in the series. I don't really build mocks for fun anymore, partly because I have no pieces left, or any good pieces left. So any mocks that aren't directly in the series are either ones that happen to show up later and I can't spoil that, or ones that are already there and their backstory's already been revealed. I'm not going to do one on Rondax, for example, because you kind of already know who he is. So yeah, I wouldn't really want to do that. But maybe I'll do some because I built, I don't know, I feel like that's what Instagram is for, though, because I'll put, well, Rondax, how about you just have, your theme in one section? Why do you have to split up so much? Well, all right, listen, stop. I don't know. I like having multiple platforms to share with the community. Not just my own little circle jerk that I have created from my YouTube channel, but people that I don't know that I want to connect with on a more human level. Yeah, I just, I like having multiple different ones. But the point is, I don't know, if you want to see mocks, you can see them in videos or on Instagram. I don't really know where I'm going with this. Okay, he also asked, how did you do X's voice? So I used an old voice changer app on my Samsung phone that I don't have anymore. The phone and the app, for that matter. Phone broke. I have a new one right now. So, yeah, I wish I could say which it was, but I don't know. Voice changers are always fun because, you don't... Not everyone has, like, some crazy range. I don't really, to be honest. Compared to other actors, no. Or other voice actors. Like, even, like, obviously, no biotuber is, frickin' McConaughey or any other, like, crazy top-of-the-line actor. But, I mean, there are some really talented people in this little corner of the internet. And, no, I am definitely not up in the big leagues of those people. So I like doing voice changers. They add to the character more. If I need a deeper voice for a character, I can't really use mine. I mean, I can drop it a little bit, but it's not going to be to where I want it to be. So I don't know why I'm explaining this. Point is, yeah, old phone. Anyway, so that was the question part. Yeah, I don't want to do too many questions because I want to save them for other podcasts. Because I don't want to, like, do all of them in one and then be like, I have nothing to do. But Rondax, you have topics. Okay, perfect. We're at 21 minutes. I plan to go for maybe 45 because I don't want to make this too long. But, I mean, I've been told that longer videos do better. Also, if you hear, like, a squeaking in the background, of course now it's not making the sound, but I have a rolly chair, and when I twist, it makes a little whine. So, okay, so we have our topics. So we're gonna go with a Bionicle topic first today because I feel like real life topics will go on for a bit longer. These are a bit more cut and dry that I can do because real life, I've been around for quite a while, and my time in Bionicle has been less than that. So, all right, Bionicle, what do we got? We're not going to go in order of my list. Let me see. What was I saying earlier? Oh, right. Okay, you know what? Great way to start off the podcast. We can start at the beginning. Rondax's origin. So, okay, I've told the story a couple times, I think, on YouTube, but I'll do it again, because why not? So, back in, like, middle school, 6th grade specifically, circa 2016 fall, the school I go to, they, like, issue us iPads to do online work on. They're okay. I prefer a computer because the iPad's so tiny, and I don't know, I don't really like it. But so yeah, we were given them like every like school year or whatever. So 2016 we get them, and nobody really uses them for school. I mean, when they have to, they do, but like otherwise, everybody's got phones, including me. So I'm not really on it for any other reason besides school. Back in the day when we didn't, people would be on like cool math games. Also, if you were around for cooler math games or even Fireboy and Water Girl, you're a real one, and I respect the hell out of you. But yeah, so right, I stumbled upon BioTube at the time, and I'd kind of heard about it. I think my friends had shown me like Cal and LOF videos from time to time, but so I would kind of. This is my first introduction to it. This was my first kind of stepping stone down the rabbit hole, and here I am. But anyway, I remember stumbling upon. I think I literally looked up Bionicle stop motion series because I wanted something to like watch instead of just like one-off little skit videos or whatever. So the first thing that came up was the first episode of Manimax series, Fight for Endworld, I think it was called. So if you don't know who Manimax 1613 is, you definitely aren't a biotuber, or at least a true biotuber. He's one of the veterans. But yeah, some of his series, people, it's very controversial. People like it, people don't. I personally, to be completely honest, I'm not the hugest fan of him. But hey, he makes good videos. I'll give him that. So, a little side note, you can still not really like somebody, but you can still respect what they do. I think that's a valid thing. Anyway, so we, what were we talking about? Yes, Fight for Endworld. So I remember watching that, and then that was it. That was like the gateway. And then there it is, that little, I don't know if you could hear it there, but that was the chair squeaking, so that's what it sounds like. Anyway, I'm gonna put music over this. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll put some like chill beats in the background, or it'll just me talking over the void. Who knows? Yes. So I remember watching that, and he has a lot of for those of you who don't know, he's got a lot of characters that have the Rakshi head, and in fact, coincidentally, the day before, is that a word? Coincidentally? Yes, coincidentally, that's a word. Okay. So, like, the day before, a couple days before, I remember I had built some... I think I built some Matoran, and I was going to, like... I don't know if I was playing with them, or I just had them set up. I think I was setting them up. And I had, like, Matoro Anika and the Paraka Zaktan guy. So I was, like, reenacting, like, the 2006 Island of Doom, Anika wave where, like, Matoran are working on the great volcano of Voyanui, trying to look for the Mask of Life because the Paraka want it, etc., etc. And then the Anika come to save everybody. So I had built one little Matoran guy who I remember had the black stringer mask, and then I had built a little one. He had a little dark red Rakshi head on there, and I remember. I don't think I named either of them, but I remember getting home. Like, they were just regular Matoran, but I remember getting home after I watched Maniamax series, and I looked at both of them. They were still on my floor, and I pick up the one with the Rakshi head, and it was like that moment, like the part of that pilot, like the first episode of the first season of any show where it's just like the inciting incident, frickin'. Like Lord of the Rings, or Luke Skywalker gets handed his dad's lightsaber, or Iron Man builds his first suit. It's like that. Oh, so I pick him up, and 1,000 thoughts swirled in my mind at that singularity, as time and space shifted to a halt, and I stood holding my figure in the void of nothingness. A single thought crept into my mind, and that was beans. And then I built Rondax, and that was it. The rest is history. I remember building... Actually, the rest is not history, because we need to talk about it, because it's a podcast. Come on, Rondax, pull it together! Okay. So, yeah, I built him, and it was a very simple build. If I feel like it, I'll put a picture up on screen. And he's very basic CCBS body, bionicle arms, and I remember I took the corner of a Lego brick, because those MFers are sharp as hell. So I took it and I scratched a little line on his face, and I made his first scar. There is a picture up on my Instagram. Feel free to go check it out. I will probably put that on the screen too, because I'm feeling graceful today. So, yeah. So I built him, and at the time, I think 2017, when I actually started to make videos on my own, I started to phase out of playing with my Legos and whatnot. That's such a tragic time in a biotuber's life when they take their figure. It's like a bittersweet feeling when you take your figures that you've played with and had so much fun with on your floor, and then you put them in front of a camera. Yeah, it just kind of got to the point, I think, it's such a sad part of life when you're like, that feeling when you're playing with a toy or something, and you want to so bad, and all of a sudden you just kind of start to realize you're like, what am I doing? And it's not even oh, this is so childish. You're why am I don't want to do this. And you kind of just put them down. It's such a sad feeling. But that wasn't really it with Bionicle. That's definitely happened with me with other toys, though, in the past. But specifically with Rondax, it just kind of phased out. I liked making videos and writing more than I liked playing with them, because I was like, well, why play with them on my floor and have a little random, like, 10-minute session of just smacking them against each other when I can make it a cool feature film with actors and set design and lights, camera, and also action, you know? So, anyway, yeah, you know, I remember playing with them. That's actually where a lot of the lore comes in for my series, is those first couple play sessions of, like, with my little mocks. That was always so fun. I look fondly on those memories. Those are good times. And yeah, that's actually when I started mock building. That was my first official kind of, you know, oh, we're doing this. And then from there, you know, I think, because 2016, how many years has that been? Like, 6? So Rondax will be 6 in, like, this fall. Yeah. Damn. Time flies. Also, side note, Rondax in the lore at current, I believe, is 35. By the end of the series, I'm pretty sure he's 36. I'm not sure. 37. I could be wrong. I have no idea. I don't really know my own lore. I kind of just do it as I go. Anyway, stay on track here. Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. So that was kind of the origin of Rondax. He's been through 20 different versions. I'm gonna be. I think that's how many he's been through. 10 official versions, 20 in total if you're counting like updates and changes. But like core base models, he's been through 10. His current one with the cloak and the you know the parts and the pins and all that, that has lasted, because I remember I built that version in, like, I want to say end of 2018. No. Beginning of 2019. Because that's I started the channel with the version right before him, like before the current one, and then I like changed over, and then maybe I'll put a picture on. He had like gunmetal and silver with little bits of dark red, and then he kind of just got upgraded from there, and now he is who he is now. The dashing young prince that stands before us today. So this version, or this like core base, has like lasted the longest out of all of them, which is surprising, because I was going through a pattern where I would like, it was like every couple of months I'd be like, nah, I gotta change it. Like something would just feel off, and I'm like, no, this doesn't really fit my vision. I need to reimagine this, and I'd change it all up. But yeah, so that was kind of the evolution, I guess. If I talk too fast, I think there's a playback speed thing. I'm just realizing that we're at 33 minutes, and I'd like to go for 45. So maybe the real life topic will last a little longer. I just want to think of more Rondax stuff before I move on, because I know for a fact my dumbass will be on like the next thing, or we'll be ending the podcast, and I'll be like, oh my god, wait, and I'll think of something else. But I think that is actually it. Yeah, because I'm kind of just talking about specifics with this stuff, where the topic is that, and then other things will make a callback. So let me look through my list right here. So I do have another topic called playing with Bionicle as a kid, so I'm sure other little funny stories will coincide. So I don't want to like spoil stuff, you know, I want to savor it. So I'm going to delete the building Rondax topic, because we just spoke about that. Now, we're going to go on to real life. So what do we got? All right, you know what? We're going to start even more at the beginning with The Other Reality. And this was a book that I wrote, or a couple books that I wrote back in 2016. I actually wrote these before I built Rondax. This was at the beginning of 6th grade, early fall, and then I built Rondax, and I was still writing one of the first books. There was 5. I never finished the last one. I will at some point. I haven't yet. So okay, so it's my co-writer Alexander the Ordinary. I will put his I will plug him in the description. I will put his link to his channel in there. Very good stuff. Go check him out. He's my co-writer for the series, and by that I mean he's gonna listen to all my stupid ideas that I come up with at like 3 a.m. and message him about on Discord, and then he'll also proofread scripts with me and whatnot. We've worked on some episodes together. Lovely lad. Definitely check him out. He's worth a watch. A couple watches, actually, because I've rewatched his videos too many times. So yeah, we tried, because we've read like all my old scripts. He knows all the lore. He could and would be completely justified in completely ripping off my series if he wanted to. I wouldn't even be mad at it. I'd be like, you know what, serves you right. Might as well. Or serves me right. Like, you deserve it. So there's that. But yeah, so we tried reading these old books, and they were so cringy that we could not get through it. So that was painful. But the first book, the gist is basically this main character, his name is Carbon Onyx, and this was at the cusp, the beginning of my emo phase in middle school, which is a topic in of itself that I will get to. My throat's really dry, but my water's empty, and I can't get up because I'm on a podcast. I could pause it, but again, my arm doesn't reach that far, even though it's right on my phone there. Yeah, whatever. I'll tough it out. I ain't no pansy. So, yeah. So, this was like, I had an emo phase. Moving on. Other Reality. The title has no correlation to the actual story. It has nothing to do with realities. Nothing. It's basically about, and it's gonna be a struggle for me to explain this. Emo Harry Potter. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. Carbon Onyx, he's a magic user, and he goes to a school called the Academy. Basically, X-Men school, where people who are able to harness certain elements or powers go to the school to be able to train themselves and learn, instead of, using good for evil, whatever, or neutral for evil and moving it into a good thing. So, yeah, so he goes there, he's picked at a young age, and he, his mom's like, all right, you got powers, why don't you go on over to the academy? So, he goes there and he's training, whatever, and, he has some scuffles with other, attendees, and then, he just fights monsters for the rest of the story. Like, he just fights weird mythical creatures and, weird extraterrestrial, not like aliens, but like weird, demon things. And it gets very dark. And you know what? In concept, that's a very cool idea, in my opinion. But execution was terrible. However, I can't fault myself, because it was like my first piece of creative work that I had done, and real talk. Let's get real for a minute here. If you're standing, please sit down. This is a safe space. This is a moment where we can connect on a deeper level. So, PSA: if, let's say, a biotuber is starting out and he is, inexperienced, his videos aren't the best. That's okay. He'll learn. He's not a bad biotuber. He's in his early stages. All right? He'll get there. All right? And most of these people complaining, and I'm going to go off on a tangent if I keep going, so I'm going to make this short. Most people complaining about this stuff don't have any work of their own. And I don't mean people who, have work but isn't like, whatever. No, these people are like the weird lurkers on YouTube that have no content, and they just nitpick and have no credibility, and it makes me so angry. But point is, don't fault beginners, okay? Because they're learning. They will get there, and they will have their own cringy moments. They need to. They need to fail. It's not your job to critique and get angry at them and be harsh and cruel. Help them. Let them learn. Be positive. All right? Thank you. PSA over. Moving on. Emo Harry Potter, yes. So, yeah. inexperienced. I was all like, ooh, I want to do this, this, and this. Because I had, like, full creative freedom. It wasn't some stupid school assignment that I had to, pull out of my ass and hand it in to the teacher. That sounds wrong. Don't take that out of context. It was something that I had full control over. And it's, like, kind of funny looking back because I was like, oh, my God, I can do whatever I want in this. And I remember I wrote the first 2 books. And by books, I mean, like, each chapter was like a paragraph. And one could argue, well, those are actually in literature called a vignette, where it's a small section of a main story that doesn't actually constitute as a chapter within the timeline, but in fact a certain aspect of the story that needed to be told to serve a specific message. I know that could be taken in that way, but that's usually done by actual experienced writers, like, I don't know, Tim O'Brien. He does it in The Things They Carried. It's a Vietnam story where he's got Rondax, relax. You're going on a tangent. You need to bring it back to home. Remember the other reality, the story, the book you're talking about? Yes. Okay, good. Let's bring it back. So, yeah, the chapters weren't very long. It wasn't half-assed, though. That was the thing. I put my full effort into it, and I had the best time writing. I would bring the book. So, yeah, I wrote the first 2 books on my school iPad, and they are still around. I still have them, like, in my files somewhere. And then the next 3 were written in, like, what are they called? The concept books? Or the let me look. You know what? We're moving. Where are they? The Congress books? I don't know. They're like the black and white texts. What are they called? Composition books. There we go. I just pulled out the 3rd one. Yeah. Yeah, they're like the composition books. It's got like the black and white. Almost looks like like a cheetah pattern, but it's white and black. I'm sure if you looked up a picture, look up composition book, or I'll put up one on screen. Who freaking knows? Point is, that's what I wrote them in, and I would take those things everywhere, every vacation trip, every summer camp, every frickin' car ride. I would bring that with me and just scribble away with a pencil or whatever, and just go at it. And I had the best freaking time. I had no storyboarding, no pre-planning, nothing. I was writing pure, raw, bam, creativity. So that was really fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And I never finished the 5th one. I remember the 3rd one being my favorite, because I think that was the one I actually had a little more like direction. I kind of found my footing, and I was like, okay, this is the kind of story I want to tell. The 4th one was all right, kind of confusing. And the 5th one I never finished. And the 5th one I think was going to be the best, in my opinion. I was like really hyped for it, and I never got to it. I tried writing sequels, like alternates. I never did. But I will always honor Mr. Onyx, Carbon, my self-insert, the Rondax before Rondax, but also like a cringy version of Rondax. So he was, I will always honor him and respect to his name, because he helped me get me he helped me get to where I am today, and he will continue to help me on my path of writing. What a lovely story. So the other reality, very fun, very, very cool to write. Because I think the sequel was going to be about his daughter, and then I was writing that, and then it kind of like lost momentum, and I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. But I will rewrite it someday, I think, or maybe not. I don't think I will, because I kind of want to keep the like what's the term, like the I can never remember this word, but like the sanctity, or like make it special. If I were to rewrite it, it'd be oversaturated and just kind of like. It would be better writing, yeah, because experience, whatever. But, like, I don't know. It served its purpose, and I think that part of my life is in the past, and I'd rather move forward and work on bigger and better things. But it will always be there. Maybe, I'll finish the 5th book. Sure. I'll hold you to it. Or you guys got to hold me to it. Tell me in the comments to finish the 5th book. If you made it this far, tell me to finish the 5th book. And if you haven't made it this far, you're a G. All right? We have 7 seconds left. So we're wrapping up here. It's been a lovely first podcast. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. You all have been great. I've been looking through chat. There is no chat. I don't know why I said that. But my audience, you guys, yeah, let's hear it. Woo! All have been lovely. I love you all. And yeah, if you made it this far, hey, man, pat yourself on the back. You know, have some beauty sleep. Drink a good glass of water, all right? You deserve it. But no, that's it for me today, folks. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you in a week for the next Roncast. And then okay, you know what? This will be a new segment that I'm going to add to my notes here. Going forward, what am I at? End of Horizon Season 3. About like maybe a 2/6 of the way down. I'm probably more than that, but I have no idea. I've got a good amount of scenes done, but I've still got a lot more to go. I've been writing more for stuff that comes after. Proofreading, all that stuff. We have a lot in the works. Home Invasion is still up. I don't know why it wouldn't be up. I don't know why I said that. Home Invasion's up. Definitely check it out. Worked a lot on that video. I got a trailer in the works. I've got a skit video in the brainstorming stage. And I've got this podcast. So content is a-coming. Yeah. So that's it for me today, folks. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. I love you all. That's it. The end.